Hi everyone, and welcome to Dimitras Dishes. So today we're going to be having fun with puff pastry, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to make desserts in no time. As long as you have puff pastry in your freezer, you're good to go. So you need a piece of one sheet of puff pastry, and you can find that in your freezer section of your supermarket. They make it as, just make sure it's all butter, that's important. Okay, so I'm going to use this as my rolling pin. I don't have a rolling pin here. My rolling pin is at the restaurant, restaurant/bakery that we own, and so I do my best with what I have around the house, and it's a bottle that I use to serve water in, or I store my olive oil in it, and that'll work just fine. You need some sugar, cinnamon, and a tiny bit of salt. So let me put a little bit of sugar in here. Sprinkle some cinnamon. Cinnamon is one of my favorite spices. A little bit of salt, because you always need salt in your desserts. Believe it or not, it brings out the sweetness without making them salty. So now, I'm just gonna mix this all up with a whisk. Okay, so I'm gonna roll out my puff pastry on some sugar. Put this on the side. And it doesn't even need to be rolled out that much, just a little bit. So it's sold frozen, and before you work with it, you don't want it to come to room temperature and become so soft that it's hard to work with, but you do want it to be soft where when you roll it out, it doesn't start to crack. So you just want to roll it out. And then this is just so simple, this dessert, you just won't believe it. Okay, so you just sprinkle in your cinnamon, sugar, mixture that you've created, very liberally, because this is where all of the flavor is going to come from. You just kind of want to press it in there and make sure it's in your pastry. And I've already lined a baking sheet with parchment paper. And all I'm going to do is roll it until it meets in the middle. So I'm going to roll it a little bit on this side. And then I'm going to do the same with the other side. These are known as palmiers. I'm sure it's a French word. They call them elephant ears also in some places because they look like elephant ears. To me, they look more like little hearts. So when you get to the middle, it's a good idea to kind of pinch it together. And if it starts to get really soft and hard to work with, stick it in the refrigerator for 10-15 minutes. And then when you pinch it all together, it'll actually stick rather than fall apart. Then remove itself from the other side of it, like this. Okay, so it looks like a log right now. And what we're going to do is sprinkle some more sugar on top of it, like that. And now we're going to slice it. Look at that shape that it makes. So we're going to put it on the baking dish, and these are going to puff up while they bake. That's why it's called puff pastry. It puffs up. Just want to cut this. Make sure your oven is preheated. Sprinkle some more sugar and cinnamon on top of these. And they're going to bake in the oven for about 15-20 minutes until they're nice and puffy and golden and beautiful and ready to eat. So this is what they look like before they go in the oven, and they're going to look even prettier when they come out of the oven. And that's it. It was that simple to make them. I'm going to put them in the oven, and when they come out, I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so the palmiers are ready. They came out of the oven. They've puffed up, and they just look beautiful. They look like little hearts. So they're nice and golden, and they're also crisp. That's how they look. perfect with a nice cup of coffee or tea. Go on my website to get the complete details on how to make this recipe. It's www.dimitrasdishes.com. Get this recipe and more, and I'll see you next time. Bye.